So we are going to start by constructing some points. To do it, I'm going to type point and press enter. Here we are going to have our parameter, or I can just directly select it from the parameter sections. And I can copy it and paste it just as I want, as more as I want. I can just select one point and right clicking. I can just set one or multiple points. Just depends on the design that we want to make later on. I'm just randomly clicking on Rhino and pressing enter to set points basically. Another way to do it is constructing a vector. So I'm going to type XYZ and select vector XYZ command. And I need a number slider, depends on the dimension that you want actually. Here I write 1000. And set it to 0 to be able to see this point that I locate easily because I'm working on the C-plane right now. So here I wanted to show you the differences on the points that I created. So if I click directly on the point in Grasshopper, it's going to be highlighted in green, and it's going to be highlighted in Rhino as well, as we are seeing here. So to the vector point, we can always change the location of the XYZ components. Here I'm changing the Z and my points. It depends on the design that you want to do. But this is just to show you how you can play with this basic information. So we can always set different points on these point components by right-clicking, or we can change the vector, but I always want to show you the different things. So that's why I'm starting from the basic things. We can type line to create lines, for example, or set one line. We can just press on different locations in Rhino to define the endpoints of the lines that we want to create, or we can just create multiple lines that are disconnected, but just they are in the same parameter in Grasshopper. The other way to create lines is using points that we just created. The reason that I want to show you this vector point is it is movable, it's repositionable. So if I wanted to relocate the endpoint of the line, I can easily use vector. So if I want to use multiple points just to create lines, I can type polyline because line component always has just one line. So I can connect the vertices input in the polyline command to the multiple points that I just created, as we can see. And I want to show you some differences between commands. So I'm going to type curve and select for curve. I want to set one curve. I need already defined lines. It can be in Rhino or it can be in Grasshopper. So if I draw one line in Rhino, I can type curve and set one curve and select the one in Rhino. On the other hand, I also create one curve and connect it to the curve that I want to do, but I cannot connect it to a line. So to set one line, I need to always draw in Rhino. I cannot connect it to the curve that I'm positioning in Grasshopper. We need to see what the output or inputs is, because If I connect, as you can see, line is not going to be able to connect for the polyline. It's going to give me an error. So I always want to use curve because line is always one line. It's not multiplied. So in the section, I can also create some curve line based on the points that I've done. So I can just write interpolate curve. I can connect it to the multiple points only. I can change right now. It's in the optimized degree. I can change the level of the degree that I want to do. It can look like a polyline or it can look like a curve. So we can see that the degree is 4. It looks like it's functioning in Rhino, but in Grasshopper, it gives me an orange error. So it says that something is not working well. So I need to manage the degree again to 3. It depends on the project that we are doing. Always the number of the points that we are working on. It always depends. So here we can also see I cannot connect it to a line, but I can connect it to a curve because the output is given as curves. So these are basic information, but important to know again.